As Mr. Mfume from Maryland for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Bowser, thank you for your testimony. It was succinct and yet very, very comprehensive. And although you probably have said much of that many times over, it's important for this committee and for others who are watching this to hear it. People have this twisted idea about what the District of Columbia is, and so anytime we can set the record straight, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your words today. Mr. Graves, thank you also for your testimony. You know, on December 16th, 1773, the Boston Tea Party took place. It was, by and large, a protest against taxation without representation. 250 years ago, based on a concept and a principle that I think many people still believe in and hopefully will follow in the day and the age that we live in. It was not a Democratic protest or response. It was not a Republican protest or response. It was an American response to an injustice that 250 years later still plagues our nation. It's still a part of the fabric that we're trying to tear away from so that everybody's vote counts, every vote will be counted, and everybody that lives and pays taxes will have some form of representation. The gentlewoman here from the District of Columbia, Ms. Norton, has carried that torch and waved that banner for many, many years and continues to do so because an injustice then obviously is still one now. I think, in fact, I know that I'm the only member of this committee that voted for D.C. statehood in 1993 and 28 years later, having been returned to Congress, voted for again in 2021. It was because we believed in it. Congressman Fauntroy, who was serving many, many years ago, led these protests that so many of us participated in. So it pains my heart, Madam Mayor, that here we go again, as we did a month or so ago, trying to, as best we can, make people understand the essence of your testimony and the essence of why taxation without representation is absolutely wrong. Now, in a 2016 referendum, 86% of the residents of Washington, D.C. voted in favor of D.C. statehood. Collectively, as has been noted many, many times, residents here in the District of Columbia pay more federal taxes than 22 other states. That's not to be lost or laughed at. More taxes in this district than 22 other states. The District of Columbia, as a matter of fact, is financially healthy, more than we can say about some other cities throughout our nation. 3/4 of the revenue generated here is generated locally, and the district has maintained 24 years of consecutive clean audits, which I would challenge anybody to find me cities all over the country that are doing that and doing it repeatedly. The leadership here, as evidenced by the mayor and others, is competent. People elect who they want. That's how we all got here, mystically. People elected us. They wanted us for a particular time, and when they don't, they will get rid of us. So the leadership here is competent, and as we all know, on the January 6th insurrection, it was the leadership here that promptly dispatched the Metropolitan Police Department to help calm and to restore the order of our nation's capital, even arriving ahead of the National Guard. So I just believe it's very important that whenever we can set the record straight, we do it. The undemocratic meddling by some members of this committee on D.C. matters and their particular interests to try to find a twist or a newsworthy item or a soundbite does not advance the representation of the people here who live here, who love the District of Columbia, and who work day in and day out to make it better, because it is, in fact, the capital of the United States. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would yield back any remaining time I might have.